Oh. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurudeva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Narayana. Hari Om and good evening from Niagara Falls. The heart of Ramayana is Sundarakanda, the chapter of beauty. And we always associate this Kanda with Hanumanji, traveling from Rameshwaram to Lanka, from Lanka back to Bhagwan Rama. The true Sundarta, the true beauty in this Kanda is of course Hanumanji's efforts. But subtler than that is the adherence to Dharma by so many personalities in this chapter. We see Mother Sita, who never gives up on feeling that Bhagwan Rama will come and bring her home. With Vibhishana, that despite being tortured by his brother and others, he keeps taking Bhagwan Rama's name. And a personality that is often overlooked is Trijata. She is a Rakshasi. In A Ramayana, she is known to be the daughter of Vibhishana. Ravana tells Mother Sita that if you don't accept my marriage proposal, not that it's a proposal, that I will kill you with this sword that Bhagwan Shiva has given me, the Chandrahasa. You have 1 month. And then he orders the Rakshasis, the demonesses, to harass Mother Sita, to make her life even worse than it is presently. And so they take on these intense appearances and go and harass her. And then Trijata comes over there and tells those Rakshasis, I had a dream that Ravana was naked, riding on a donkey towards the south, and Lanka was burned down. And as she's sharing this, Shurpanakha is amongst the Rakshasis there. That's the sister of Ravana. And as Trijata is courageously and fearlessly sharing her dream, she tells those Rakshasis, fall at the feet of Mother Sita. Find a way to invoke forgiveness. And they don't know what to do, so they immediately leave that area. How steady and sincere Trijata is to Dharma, that despite Ravana's sister being there, this is what's right. And that which is right is mighty. Might is not right, right is might. This is the beauty of Sundarakanda. Being dharmic, following our responsibilities is not complicated. In Ramayana, saralata or simplicity, straightforwardness is known as bhakti. So the simpler we think and speak and act, that shows we're growing in bhakti. Saralta at a jnana level is to be able to simplify our shastras, to simplify a message so that we can remember the message, we can practice the message. Bhagavad Gita and our Bhagavad Gita course are excellent examples of this simplicity in the form of bhakti, this simplicity in the form of jnana. We have to learn to think like Bhagavan Krishna. We have to learn to write like Pujya Swami Tejomayananda. Last week, as we explored chapter 17, the beginning portion of chapter 17, Bhagavan Krishna brings up a framework on how we can evolve, but I want to give you a negative framework and then a positive one. In our Upanishads, there's a teaching where we are told to cut the hridaya grantihi, the knots of the heart. We all have 3 knots in our heart, 3 knots that make us stuck. And that is avidya, kama, karma. Avidya is forgetting that I'm joyous. And so there's kama then. I desire all. Then I have to act for that. And I'm stuck. So the Upanishads look at this in a negative way. We should cut this down. In Bhagavad Gita, this is shared differently, positively. Our swabhava, that is our nature, naturally expresses as our shraddha, or faith. And our shraddha, or faith, expresses as shrama, or action. So those 3 S's are swabhava, shraddha, and shrama. How we put in effort. If my nature is rough, my faith is going to be rough. How I act is going to be rough. If my nature is pleasant, my faith will be pleasant. I will act in a pleasant way. Bhagavan naturally is encouraging us to evolve. So he says if you want to evolve, you have to revolve around those who are evolved. Revolve around those who are sattvic. And he naturally talks about people. He also talks about food. He talks about the time of day. We should keep revolving around sattva. And Bhagavan introduced this message in chapter 2. He told Prince Arjuna, Nitya Sattva Staha. Establish yourself in sattva. And now you see this appendix. How Bhagavan never fails to elaborate on what he shared earlier. And he's specific about this. What should be sattvic? Our yantra, our equipments. Tantra, our techniques. And our mantra, our purpose. Where should our yantra, tantra, and mantra be directed? Towards yajna. That is a life of service. Tapa. That is to invest so that I can serve more. And how is this expressed? As dana, sharing. Serving, investing, and sharing. The remaining portion of chapter 17 elaborates on yajna, tapa, dana, and what this looks like for those who are sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. What is important to note here is how we are to determine what is sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic is determined by our intention and implementation. Intention here means the ends. The implementation is the means. Intention and implementation. If we look at yajna, that is serving, how does this look for one who is sattvic? What is sattvic yajna? At a yantra level, at an equipment level, One is resourceful. They are able to gather resources efficiently. They're able to bring the best materials together. Because if they're going to serve, they have to be efficient. They have to be able to serve that which is best. Like Naivedya, many people will not offer Naivedya to Bhagwan if they've tasted it. Some do, some don't. At a tantra level, at a technique level, Sattvic Yajna is disciplined. One follows the scriptures, one follows those who are leaders, disciplined. So resourceful, disciplined, and the most important, what is the Sattvic Yajna at a mantra level? They're selfless. They're engaged in what they're doing not for themselves, but for those around them. And if we can tune into maximum happiness, maximum people, maximum time, maximum ways, that's more and more selflessness. Got that? Resourceful, disciplined, and selfless. Now, Rajasic Yajna is still resourceful and disciplined. Someone who's aggressive, they too are able to gather materials, offer the best, and they're disciplined too. If you see some athletes, some politicians, most disciplined. But the change here is the mantra is not the same. Their mantra or their purpose is selfish. For someone who's Rajasic. Why are they doing what they're doing? For themselves. Me and my. It's not about maximum. It's selective. Then we go to Tamasic Yajna. People who are living a life of service, but there's laziness. They're not resourceful, they're resourceless. They cannot bring materials together, they offer that which is poor. If you think of Nachiketa's father, that would be an example. He gifted cows that couldn't produce milk anymore. They're indisciplined. These are the people like Aghoris. Aghoris, when do they engage in sadhana? They start at midnight, when the Rakshasas are strongest. And they are naturally selfish. Okay, so Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, Yajna, serving. And this is so beautiful because if you can imagine this is like a checklist, you should ask yourself, am I resourceful? Am I indisciplined? Why do I do what I do? And then if I know that I'm not perfect, I can start evolving in those ways. We shift to tapa. Tapa is investing. The full word for tapa is tapati. That's the verb. Tapati means to burn. And if you switch those letters around, the opposite of tapa is pata. Pata means to fall. Tapati inhibits patati. When I'm investing in my equipment, in my life, that inhibits me from becoming unhealthy, from falling and not making use of my opportunities. I just returned from Orlando yesterday, and I was teaching Tapovana Shataka, which are 6 shlokas, 6 prayers towards Swami Tapovana. And the word tapa we're discussing, and vana means forest. When you're in a forest, there's not just trees. There's also shrubs. There's also rocks. Swami Tapovanam, the vanam part, what this looks like in our own lives is comprehensive. His discipline was comprehensive. His investing was comprehensive. It was not restricted to space, time, and matter. I was reading today that Puja Swami Chinmaya, his foremost disciple, if I can say that, never, ever, ever went into Swami Tapovanam's room where he slept until he attained Masamadhi. So who looked after his room? heated. Now, so many people, I can't take care of my room or my car or my kid and so on and so forth. Until the end, his own disciple is not looking after his room. Another place I'd read, there's a student studying at Sandipani, and he was looking at Swami Tapovaram's murti. There's a large murti at Sandipani Sadhanalaya. And Swami Chinmaya said to this student that even the air you breathe is because of the tapa of Swami Tapovaram. And so what I'm trying to share is there's no greater return in life than tapa. And tapa is not external. It's not about stocks or land. It is about investing in oneself. Here are some ways, generally, to know that we're engaged in tapa. Tapa is to endure. If you're an enduring person, you are practicing tapa. Tapa is to conserve. It is only when you conserve energy that you can direct energy. If you can't conserve energy, you can't change. Tapa is to be reliable. This is a significant fault that is growing in society, is this lack of reliability. So then lack of shraddha, correct? Tapa is to be simple. Think simple, speak simple, act simple. And tapa is to concentrate. To not be distracted of regrets of the past, anxieties of the future, excitements in the present. To endure, to conserve, to be reliable, to be simple, to concentrate. What does this look like from the perspective of sattva? What is sattvic tapa? At a physical level, it is to serve those who are great. Physical tapa, that is sattvic, is to serve. Serve those who are great. By serving those who are great, we start to imitate, we start to invoke what makes them great. At a verbal level, this is verbal tapa, it is to think and then talk. Think and then talk. One pauses a lot, not because they don't know what to say, but they're figuring out what to say in a better way to understand the listener. At a mental level, sattvic tapa is to be calm and cheerful. Calm and cheerful. So now when you think of physical, verbal, and mental, the hardest is mental, no? To be calm, even that's easier than to be cheerful. So we all love these ideas of tapas like Ravana. Tapas like Hiranyakashipu. If you're going to do that kind of tapa, you're going to become like them. Be calm and cheerful. So that's what we want to be like. Now I'll describe what we are like. So we get to the Rajasic tapa. This is for those who are aggressive. At a physical level, it is to strive for position. To strive for position. I want to be the best instead of being my best. I want everyone to see what I own, and on and on and on. To strive for position. At a verbal level, it is reactive talking. Reactive talking. So what's been deleted? Thinking. Pausing. I feel with our email system, they should change the word from reply to respond. Correct? Replying is Rajasic. Responding is Sattvic. And at a mental level, it is to be irritable and irritating. If you're an irritable person, then people are irritated around you, correct? Going back, if you're a calm person, people are cheerful. If I'm irritable, then I'm irritating. So that's more accurate to describe us, correct? Now, hopefully we're not this. We go to Tamasic tapa. Lazy discipline, lazy investing. At a physical level, it is to engage in that which is harmful. To engage in that which is harmful. Fasting is fine, but if you fast to an extent where you can't fulfill your responsibilities, that's tamasic fasting. That's why if your body type prevents you from fasting, then don't do it. One shouldn't be complacent about it, but truly, if, as an example, when Sheila was pregnant, she couldn't fast because it would be adharmic for the health of our baby. Yes, so it is harmful. At a verbal level, it is to be irresponsible. Yesterday when I was posting a rad on Twitter, then I had read another person's rad towards Donald Trump's rad towards the fire at Trump Tower, and how he's talking about how well-built Trump Tower is instead of offering a word of sympathy for the person who had died, for the firefighters who were injured. See, it's even wrong to say tapa, but for the sake of this chapter, this is tamasic tapa. It's irresponsible. And at a mental level, tamasic tapa is to be fearful. One who's always afraid at a mental level, then that is tamasic tapa. And a way one knows that they're afraid is they feel silence is awkward. Right? Always have to speak, always have to look at one's phone, and on and on and on. So yajna, that is living a life of service, there's a sattvic, rajasic, tamasic way of engaging in yajna. And we looked at tapa, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Bhagavan is most loving. He's showing us where we are and how to grow. If I'm irritable, I should become calm. If I'm engaging in harmful physical tapa, then I should engage in striving for position. I should run a whole lot. That's better than just letting my body decay. And now we go to the end of the chapter. This is 17.11 to 17.14. Yajna, tapa, and then dana. Dana is to be grateful for being gifted with generosity. Gifted generously. That's better. Dana is to be grateful. Grateful for what? To be gifted generously. Until this very moment, our whole lives, we have been gifted and gifted and gifted in most generous ways. Like high-speed internet, like security, like a digestive system, the grace of God. Dana is being generous, being grateful for being gifted generously, and then to become the same. If this is what's gifted to me, I've been gifted generously, then dana is to reciprocate that, to gift generously. If the guru is teaching the shishya, then the shishya should be like the guru. Not become the guru with form and name, but to be like the guru. That's what dana is. So this gratitude is not passive. This gratitude is active. And our shastras are very specific about this. Please note these details. 1/3 of all you earn, and I'll bring this to modern terms, your net income. Okay, we'll leave gross income alone for now. Your net income. 1/3 of your net income you should enjoy. Enjoy by going on vacations and buying clothes and sustaining life. Creating, sustaining life. Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu. 1/3 of your net income should be invested for more income. Okay? So you should save that to be able to generate more wealth. Almost like an endowment fund at a university, right? And 1/3 of your net income should be shared. 1/3 of your net income should be gifted to continue Shreya, Dharma, to support goodness. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. I actually saw this in a different way. I saw this piggy bank. It was more like a box. And I saw this in a kid's store. One slot said, for today. One slot was for tomorrow. And one slot was for others. And I thought, what a beautiful box that connects exactly with what our scriptures are saying, correct? 1/3 you enjoy today, 1/3 you invest for tomorrow, 1/3 you share. So this is what dana is, in a very tactile way. Now why? What is the utility in dana? If we think about how we're earning, inevitably, through our earning, there are traces of papa. Whether, suppose you're a retailer, you have a business, and you take stuff from your business, but you don't record that. Correct? If you have people who come to help at your home, and you pay them by cash. And my point is not to make people paranoid. I'm sharing the way that we live. It is inevitable that some papa, some demerit or adharma manifests. And so by engaging in dana, here are the virtues, or this is the development that manifests. I'll go from light to heavy. At a light level, you first develop aparigraha. Aparigraha means non-collecting. You don't collect that which you don't use. Aparigraha. If you follow through with that, this starts to develop into araga. Araga. Raga means attachment, correct? Araga or viraga means to be independent. And if you follow that, araga leads to amana. Mana means ego, correct? Amana means to not have this ego, to be egoless. Mana is I-ness, and then raga is minus. And this is very strongly seen by people who hoard. So dana inhibits all of this. Dana insulates us from all of this. This is the order in which this is to be practiced. Aparigraha, let go of collecting. Araga, let go of being dependent. Amana, let go of being possessive. And how beautifully this is shown with Vamana, Bhagwan, and Raja Bali, correct? Everything Raja Bali gave to Bhagwan was already Bhagwan's. And finally he realized, all that is mine that is not Bhagwan's is my ego. And we practice this in puja also. The last part of puja is Atma Nivedana. Here, Atma is not that I don't offer myself to the self. Why would I have to do that? That Atma is the ego. Bhagwan doesn't care about the flowers. He doesn't care about the mantras either. He wants that ahankara, which separates us from Bhagwan. Dana, sharing. How do you share from the guna, from the perspective of sattva? Here are the 3 ways. There's lots, but I'm summarizing this. Promptly, respectfully, and graciously. If I want to be someone who's engaged in dana, why do I want to engage in dana? So I can evolve. Sattvic dana, that is being grateful and generous with calmness, is to do so promptly. Respectfully means that I don't feel I'm superior to whom I'm giving. And graciously means wholeheartedly. And this will become more clear when we look at the Rajasic Dana. You caught those three for Sattvic. Now we go to Rajasic. Rajasic Dana, for those who are aggressive, instead of promptly, one has to be reminded. Has to be reminded again and again and again. That means our generosity is Rajasic. Then expectantly. Expectantly. When one gives respectfully, once that's given, correct? But expectantly is I give because I also have this feeling of return. And what Swami Tejamayana writes about this is some people give rajasically and their expectations are almost at a metaphysical level that they should get punya out of this. They should win Bhagwan's favor. That's like saying I can buy God, isn't it? If someone came to you tomorrow and said, I'm going to buy God, it would hurt your heart to hear that. We live like that covertly. And finally, calculatingly, that when we give, not graciously, not wholeheartedly, but it's in a very calculated way. This is a very fascinating indication of Rajasic Dana. I started writing the E-Vichara in 2009. And at that point, then people started subscribing for this. How many of you do you think you've been receiving the E-Vichara for more than 5 years? By show of hands. Yeah, some of you who I've known for a long time, I've traveled to your cities and homes. When I started writing the E-Vichara, and I thought this is like a course. There's 52 E-Vicharas. It's a course on Sanatana Dharma, on well-being. So after that first year, then I shared in the email that anyone who would like to support the E-Vichara so that more work can be done, then people can give. So some people gave. And this went on for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I was discussing with Sheila's brother. Sheila's brother is a fundraiser for a hospital. And he was suggesting, because we were chatting about this, he said you should give people reference points in regards to donating. You know, even though that's Rajasic, calculatingly, but you should give people reference points. And I was very resistant to this idea. You know, I feel uncomfortable about comparing this to, you know, going on a cruise or a shirt that someone buys. But I did it. In that E-Vichara, when I was asking people for funds, then I said, if this E-Vichara is worth 10 cents, then, you know, give $3 or whatever I wrote down. People gave way more. People gave way more, and it made me realize how Rajasic we are. That we have to keep on being reminded, and that we have to share with people how much they should give. Now, some people, when they read these comparisons, they feel, you know, why should there be these comparisons? Because that's how we're oriented. Otherwise, we have this standard $101, right? Is what you've received in a Jnana Yajna or in a full year of classes on Sunday $100? Think about how much we spend when we go for dinner. Easily $200 if you're living in a big city, correct? Parking itself will cost you $20. And I'm sharing this because if we are not told this, we will continue to operate in this calculating way that someone else will give. Please remember this point because we're about to complete our courses, lots of courses that are being completed through Vichara Gurukula, and I will share more thoughts on this. You know, a typical university course is only 25 hours. A typical university course is 25 hours a semester, and that costs $1,000. And you just think, we're going through 55 hours of Bhagavad Gita. Please keep this in mind. Tamasic. Tamasic Dana. Someone who has this lazy quality when it comes to sharing. Not promptly. Not even in a reminded way. They give ignobly. In other words, they give in a worst way, and they give towards the worst causes also. Here, Swami Tejamananda wrote about people who support terrorism. That's dana, correct? But it's tamasic dana. It creates more ignobility. People who supported Hitler, that's tamasic dana. It is destructive. It is not respectful where the other person benefits. It's not expectant where you still want something good. It is destructive. It is destructive for them. It's destructive for you. And finally, uselessly. One gives uselessly, not wholeheartedly, not calculatedly. One just gives uselessly, which means they don't give. They give that which is useless. And an example of that is written in the lesson is to give winter clothes to kids who live in hot weather areas. Right? That's useless to you, and you're giving it away. Sometimes that happens in our ashrams where someone has an old microwave. Vivekji, can we give you this microwave? No! That's more of a liability for us. Give us the money. We'll buy our own microwave. Isn't it? It's more of a liability. Bhagavan completes this chapter by saying, as we engage in dana, tapa, yajna, through our mantra, tantra, and yantra, whatever we do, we will still be imperfect. Our intention will be wrong, or implementation will be indisciplined. We will be imperfect regardless of how much we try. And so Bhagavan says, and this is the second shloka I'm highlighting for chapter 17. This is shloka 24. What are we supposed to do? Bhagavan's sharing this near the end of the chapter. Tasmad om ityudaharitya yajnadana tapah kriyaha pravartante vidhanoktaha satatam brahmavadinam. Since I'm going to be imperfect, tasmad, therefore, om iti udaharitya, I should chant om. And here chant doesn't just mean verbalize it. I should remember Om. That should be my intention. When? As I'm engaged in yajna. Yajna is serving. Tapa is investing. Dana is sharing. Kriyaha, while I'm doing all of this. Okay, so I'm engaged in all of this. When should I remember Om? Pravartante. Pravartante means in the beginning. When you commence. And if commencement is there, what is naturally included in that word? When you complete your yajna, tapa, and dana too. Vedanoktaha, this is what's taught in the scriptures. The scripture that is Bhagavad Gita is referencing the scriptures that is the Upanishads. Satatam Brahma Vadinam, those who are students of Brahma. Here you can take this literally as students of the Veda. I would like to take this more fully, that we are students of infinity, students of independent joy. When do they do this? Satatam. They're always remembering so that their intention is right. Brahman, independent joy, God, nobility, whatever lifts us up. By remembering, oh, what we do becomes perfect. And what's so utility-oriented here, if your intention is perfect and your implementation is perfect, then your phala, or your return, is going to be perfect. And that's what we want, correct? And the only way to do that is to bring this divine living. And Bhagavan completes the chapter by saying, those people who engage in sattvic, yajna, tapa, and dana, they invoke peace and evoke prosperity. Those who are engaged in rajasic, yajna, tapa, dana, they do not invoke peace. They only evoke prosperity. So no peace, but there is prosperity. Those lower three P's: position, possession, pleasure. Those who are tamasic in nature, as they engage in yajna tapandana, they don't invoke any peace and they don't evoke any prosperity. So for all of us who are most utilitarian, what is the best way to live? Sattvically. Oh.